Yo, yo, what's up? Episode 128. It's been a little bit of, some time since I've been here, but here I am. Let's do it! Cheers, everybody. Happy Monday. Hold on. See, I can hit a button now on here. I have a remote. My new stereo has a remote, folks. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Evening hour. What the heck? Oh, here we go. Evening hour, episode 128. Cardone here. It's been a while. It took me... Yes, matching koozie. Oh, yeah, you're... Okay, wait, we'll get to this. What's up, everybody? Ruth, Dan, I see a bunch of people in here. I'm going to say hi in a second. If this is your first time watching the show, it's very chatty. Look at the chats. Look at what it says underneath in the description. Let's see if Zalthon's working, everybody. Y'all are in here that know what to do. Do the exclamation point word points. I'm very curious if it works. I just turned the bot on. Zalthon should be working. If he's not, please let me know. Welcome! I see lots of fun people in here tonight. Long time no see. My mama's in the house. What's up, mama? Cheers, mama. Yeah, Ruth, Eric, Jason, Fallon, what's up? Happy holidays, everybody. Oh, yeah, here we go. Ruth, let's see. I'm just curious. Dan, I think you have 1 billion points. Oh, my gosh. If this works, I'm going to be happy. Yes, it works! Excellent. Yes, Dan has amazing points. 3,363. Folks, if you would like, somebody put in exclamation point and then the word right beside it, 8 ball. I think this is a magic 8. The magic 8 ball might be on. Let me ask a question. All right. So, before I get into the show today, yes, it's been a while. It's been a month. This is the longest I went without doing a broadcast. And I just had to. I was busy. My Mondays were busy. My Wednesdays were busy. And my Fridays were gone. So, life takes over. Here we go. Ruth with the magic 8 ball. Here we go. Let's see if it works. 3, 2, 1. Let's see if it's the letter 8 or the word 8. I'm not sure. I think it's the number 8. Zalthon learned how to be an 8-ball machine. Also, if you do the gambling thing, it's all in the description. If you look in the description, it tells you how to play the chat games. If you win, if you get points, if you go in the thing, it shows you where to spend your points. I guess it doesn't work. It should have kicked on. Oh, well. People are writing 8-ball. Dan P puts snowblind. That's when the song kicks in. That's a good song. All right. Subscribe, folks. Look, I hustle donations. If you donate to my show, I love it. I do this full time. But if you don't, please, all you got to do is tell your friends. I've been hustling this channel for a while, and it ain't easy. So, yeah, tell your friends, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and please hit the notify. I have now reached 1,000. They give you a fancy email, and not a whole hell of a lot happens yet. The reason is I need watch hours. This is why podcasters do 4-hour streams. I don't have time to do a 4-hour stream, but I wish I could. So just tell your friends. It means a lot to me. What else? Toilet Boys just played Chicago. Absolutely mind-blowing. I got to meet some fans that I haven't seen in years. I got to meet new fans. We got treated like royalty. The sound was good. The crowd was awesome. We loved it. I think my favorite part, quick little story, some of us stayed in a hotel, and then I was told that the venue, Reggie's, had an apartment above it, and some of us were going to stay in the apartment. So the people that were like putting it together were like, all right, we'll put Cardone and Paris in the apartment, and Eddie and Guy, the older ones, were going to stay in the hotel. And I think they thought the hotel was going to be better, but it wasn't. The apartment was better. It was beautiful. The shower was as big as my freaking living room, and it was literally right above the venue. So my dressing room was the apartment I was staying in, and then I ran down and played the show, and then we all partied in the apartment. So Reggie's, another Riff Raff label, Bobby, thank you very much. I think his stuff's in the description below too. Great time. We got treated like with deep respect, and we had a blast. The band to watch out for that I really liked that was new was called Tiny Wars. Check them out, Tiny Wars. They had a very retro sound, but it was still very fresh and new. Anywho, what's this say? I'll hit a Powerball tonight, and this show gets a studio. Wow, Jason. That would be great. I don't think I would need a studio, but I would need... If I had, like... If someone's like, here's $1 million for your internet show. Yes, I would obviously upgrade everything. I would use it to hire a full-time tech. And then on top of it, I would use the money for research projects. Yeah, that's what I would do. I would be like, all right, I need this much money to go do this research. And then I would go do it and then do a show on it. That's what I would do. Thanks, Jason. I think Powerball and PA is $1 million right now or something. I just finished my voice. I have to remember. Hey, who's this? Thanks for the stream. Oh, you saw Meshuggah. My son's obsessed with them. I like them too, but I know they're pretty intense. So check this out. I just finished doing a 3-day tattoo convention. My voice is a little weak. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull this up a bit, and I'm going to consciously talk a little softer. Can you hear me? Do I sound okay? Tomorrow I have a show, and I don't want to blow my vocal cords out. I did a 3-day convention. On Saturday, I did something I haven't done in a while. I emceed from noon until midnight. I performed 2 magic shows. I emceed 2 burlesque shows, a tattoo contest, a motor contest, and at 4 p.m. in the middle, my band, the Rambones, played. It was one of the hardest days I've had in a while, and oh, I see Gigi Allen comments in here. Yeah, it is better softer. You can hear me, Ruth? Everybody has different speakers. I'm talking pretty quiet. I don't want to sound NPR and all stop plosive. When I was a kid, I'd listen to NPR, and I would hear people with their stop plosive ASMR. It's too weird. So I had a very busy weekend, and my band Rambones is still hustling it. We have a show in a few weeks at the brewery. So any Rockaway people watching. And then as for Halloween, how was everybody's Halloween? Cheers. Happy Halloween, everybody. My whole life, I stopped celebrating Halloween at a certain point because I work all the time on Halloween. Magic, music, right? And this year, Halloween was on a Monday. All the gigs were on the weekends. So I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to take off and not work. And if everybody, if I get gig offers, I don't know, maybe I didn't know what to do. So we decided to throw a Halloween party. I have never thrown my own Halloween party. Actually, I have. Here, I'll show you. I forgot I had this here. Like my new Moxie koozie. You gotta love koozies. And this one's, look at that. Look how crystal clear that. Hey, CR! So there's some people in here that were at my Halloween thing. I didn't, if you weren't invited, it's either because, A, you weren't invited, or B, I forgot. I didn't know who to call. It was so cockamamie and last minute, and it was so hard to do it that, I gained some pounds too. So I've only thrown a Halloween party a few times in my life, but they were for money-making purposes. And I'll show you one of the posters. This is one of my posters from a Halloween party. Now, I repurposed this picture for the party. Look, you can tell it's old school flyer making where I was gluing things on here. You know, these are all glued on so that you can, you know, put it in the Xerox machine. For the young people watching, this is how punk rockers made flyers without a computer. I got this picture of the haunted house from this amazing book that some of you might know, by the magician Philip Morris, who was a spook show magician. And it's a great book. It shows you how to build some amazing Halloween illusions and advertise it and make posters and sell tickets. It's a cool book. When I was a kid, it was one of my favorite books. Now, I want you to look at the picture on the front really good. Listen to this story. When I was in Pittsburgh, second year, third year at school. Oh my God, you went to New Orleans, Ruth. That's amazing. I want to hear about it. I was at home reading this book in my apartment in Pittsburgh. Now, I lived in a house. I'm going to put the camera on now. I lived in a house with a bunch of my classmates that was all apartments. It was like a giant mansion broken up into apartments. And I was at home literally sitting there reading the book. And as I'm reading the book, I'm not kidding you, I noticed that that house was the house I was literally sitting in reading the book. I was in the basement. Down here in the basement is where I lived. My friend Tom Lee lived here. My friend Greg Sims lived here. All my friends lived in the house. And I ran outside with my book, and I'll never forget it because I was like holding it, looking, going like, oh my God, I've had this book my whole life. I ended up moving into the haunted house on the book I've had since I was in middle school. Oh my God, I was freaking out. It's called the Bonavita Mansion. Look it up. It's now a bed and breakfast. When we lived there, we used to throw Halloween parties to make money. We would charge $5 at the door, all you can drink. Marie, oh yeah, I've never been to the graveyards in New Orleans. I've only been to New Orleans once, and again, I was working, and I was there on Halloween. I played with the house at the House of Blues with the Damned on Halloween. All I saw was a couple restaurants. I walked around a bit, and I played. And then in the morning, we went to Café du Mont, which is kind of cool. So, yeah, Halloween, I threw a party. We made food. We invited a bunch of people. We had a blast. So, cheers to everybody's Halloween parties. I never got to throw one. I'm glad I did. I really enjoyed it. I actually turned down some work, and I didn't care. Yeah. Oh, you did the okay, I've never done the graveyards. I would like to. What else? I have been reading. I'm almost done with Cardone, Human All Too Human. Almost done. My second favorite Nietzsche book. It's a lot thicker than Beyond Good and Evil. It's a little earlier than that work, and I really like it. It's blowing my head off. There's a chapter on art and artists and his thoughts. Highly recommend it. And then I started a new book. And I'm about 4 chapters in of this thick book. I'm just a little in. It's the Odyssey, Homer. I've always wanted to read it. As I'm reading it, I'm like, I should have read the Iliad first. I never read that too, but it's fine. I know a lot about the Iliad. I'm loving it. It's pretty neat. I just wanted to read a book that influenced our reality in so many ways. You know, it's one of the oldest books ever written, and yeah, I haven't read that by Virgil, but I would like to. I'm going back to the classics, folks. I mean, I like seeing the source material of everything gets watered down from the source. Why would I not want to see the actual source? What else is going on? Oh, my mama was at the Halloween party. Thank you, Mama. She came. All right. It's hot. Is it not hot in here? You're not hot. It's roasting in here. All right. Let's get into the episode. I have a lot to say. We're going to talk about some movies first. I won't do any spoilers. Oh, you're getting Johnny Rotten's book? Yeah, I'm trying to think of how he would be as a writer. Writing's not easy. It takes practice. Some of these guys don't practice. They just say, I'm going to write a book. But they didn't actually... They have good stories. Either they don't practice sometimes and they're hard to get into. Like, the flow is kind of wonky. Do I know who Hesiod is? No, it's not ringing a bell. What's up, Achilles? Speaking of Greek stories, great name. I have to look it up. I'm a little fuzzy. Yeah, I was going to read Marky Ramon's book, and it got a little dry, but I'll finish it. I wanted to talk about movies. First of all, I have not seen the Munsters remake. The trailer looked pretty bad. The story, the colors, the acting looks painful. All my close friends that saw it, I would say 99% of them thought it was terrible. I have no desire to see it. I never will see it. I don't need to. To me, the only way to do a remake of the Munsters would to be extremely different. For instance, Munsters are archetype Hollywood monster movies, right? Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman Boy, Haunted House. Why not do a new one where it's based off of Jason, Freddy, and Leatherface? You know, they're kind of the archetypes of our modern serial killers, and they're moving in a house and they have a kid. You know, what if Leatherface is a woman? The dad is Jason and doesn't talk. The nanny is some sort of Freddy character. You know what I mean? Like, go really far. Then I might pay attention to it. If you told me, dude, they're remaking the Munsters, but instead of it being Frankenstein and Dracula, it's Freddy and Jason kind of people, I'd be like, what? And I would want to see it, right? This looked terrible. The color, it just looked bad. You didn't like it, Eric? I mean, I don't know. Oh, Ancient Greek. He wrote. Oh, okay. I'll look him up. I like some of the more obscure people in classic literature. I do. Interesting. I see. It's a tribute. I don't need to see a tribute to the Munsters. I'd rather watch a video of someone editing clips of the Munsters. Oh, if you see me doing this to my hair, it's because I am literally, all the grease in my hair is filled with sand right now. It was like 77 degrees on the beach today, and I was laying in the sand. Sorry. Yeah, come up with just new everything. Again, I don't know why. I don't need homages that cost millions of dollars. Now, I will say the only thing I have to say about the Munsters movie is supposedly Zombo is in the show. If you don't know about Zombo, he's one of my mascots for the show. That's Zombo. That's a custom doll I had made many years ago. This, I'm going to put this down. They made a Zombo toy. Here's the package. I took him out of the box already. Look at this package. So this is the Zombo in the movie. It looks pretty accurate. It looks like the original. I bought it because it looks exactly like the original. The robe is not. I'm going to lay him out now. Here he is. Oh, God. Let's do this. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to do the real camera. Dude, look at the detail. He came with a cereal box. And the hat, the only complaint is the hat doesn't fit so well. But honestly, look at this. Look at the detail. Now look at the back of the cape. Oh, the hat fell. But look at the back of the cape. Look at the inside of the cape. It has this weird snake on it. It's a really well-made Zombo toy. A good sculpt. So I bought it when I saw it. I thought it was worthy. I'm a Zombo guy. Whatever. Maybe Rob Zombie made a few cents off of this. Probably not. Universal did. Or whoever owns the Munsters now. So I didn't see the movie. I don't want to see it. I don't need to see it. I got to party once and do a show with Grandpa Al Lewis. And he was cool. And I don't need the new thing. It doesn't make sense. The movies I wanted to talk about, without spoilers, are Barbarian. We're going to start with Barbarian. A lot of great reviews. People loved it. My kids, Wolfgang, if you're watching, who might be in Moonlight, they might be watching. I think they loved it, and they wanted me to see it in my reaction. So we put it on, and I thought it was okay. I thought, to me, if you said, like, what's it about without giving away the plot, because they said don't know anything about it, you're going to be surprised. Great. You have to understand, I hate movies that have surprise endings, that the whole movie sucks, but the surprise ending is so good that you forgot about the sucky movie. Like that Shyamalama Ding Dong movie, I See Dead People. There's one right there. And the rest of his movies. So, okay. Oh, I did not read The Metamorphosis. So, all right, we're going to talk about Terrifier. I haven't seen the second one yet, but we're going to get there. Because I'm excited to see it. So Barbarian, we put it on, we watch it. Yes, there's some surprises. Yes, they're well done. The acting's good. It's fine. But I've seen a lot of horror films, and I would say it's very like... It's like an Alice in Wonderland story. It's about rabbit holes. You go in the hole and you discover more things, and more holes and more things. Anybody ever see Martyrs, the French film? Not the remake, the French one. It's a fantastic movie. It's what I think Barbarian wanted to be in its feel. Not in its story, but the way it kind of explodes. The other thing that it had is it had a couple far-fetched things that I wish went farther in their far-fetchedness or weren't that. It's a little far-fetched into the reality of what's going on. Fine, go farther, please. Here's an example. The movie Mandy, which a lot of people liked, I couldn't stand. It actually angered me, and I almost left the theater. It was pure fluff. It looked visually a certain way. It didn't change much. It had kind of a one look to it. It got you to buy into some weird supernatural thing with the sword and the liquid and the biker monsters and the demons. But then it abandoned it at the end. It had nothing to do with that. It went in another direction that was kind of... I was waiting for the cool stuff to come back, and it didn't. A little spoiler here on Mandy. I figured out how to end the movie so that I wouldn't have been as angry. What if at the end of the movie, spoiler, he's done with his revenge or whatever, and then the bikers show up with a bike with nobody on it, and then he gets on it with his magic sword and leaves. It would explain the magic sword, it would explain the bikers, it would explain what he became. He's part of this thing that it would give it a... It would give it a circle bit. It would tie things up. I don't know. I don't know. Fallon says, all Shamian's movies, Shamian, could be just 30 minutes and less surprising form of the night calendar. Yeah, exactly. They could be like short little like, oh, yeah, I agree. He's terrible. I call him Shyamalama Ding Dong. I don't like his movies. They're all about a clever... Whenever I say clever kills art, to me, he's a living example of it. Everything's clever, but it's missing heart and soul, I always thought. So, Barbarian, it's okay. I didn't hate it. But it's just, I don't need to see it again. Movies, either I see it and go, I liked it, I never see it again, or I liked it, yeah, I heard the Halloween movie's bad. It's funny, I met a horror film fan yesterday that liked it. But there's a lot of movies that are really good, and I want to see them over and over again. There's parts to them that I not only enjoy seeing again, but the detail is so well done that I want to see more. The remake of Suspiria is one of them. I loved this movie. Some people hated it. Now, the movie that I did want to talk about more than Barbarian, well, Barbarian, the acting is good. I think the setups are good. The uncomfortableness... There's good stuff in it. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just, it's okay. It's not, it's like that movie Get Out. Get Out was nominated for 4 Academy Awards, folks. Please. Really? It's that good? Get Out was that good? If you watch movies on a regular basis, that movie was subpar. And again, it had a dumb surprise ending. So dumb that it was like, really? that's dumb. And it removed me from the story. So, all right, there you go. You didn't like Barbarian. I mean, I didn't hate it, but I did not love it. I was like, eh. Now, the actor guy that's in it, who's in a lot of horror films, I like him. He's good. I mean, he's pretty good. But enough of Barbarian. I'll never watch it again. It's fine. It's like a movie made for people that don't watch a lot of horror films. Now let's talk about Hellraiser. Now, when I heard they were remaking it, I thought, good. Oh, speaking of Hellraiser, I don't know why I just thought of this. Boom. I bought this model kit. It's a model kit in Taiwan. And I posted a picture of it once, and Clive Barker himself retweeted it. Look, the cube's a Rubik's Cube. Yeah, I bought this in Taiwan in a model kit store. So the new Hellraiser, when I heard they were remaking it, oh my god, I love it. C.R. Mealy says Jordan Peele is just as talentless as Shami Yami. I agree. Overrated. Overrated. If you watch horror films on a regular basis, I mean, I heard his new one with the cloud was better, but again, I don't know. It's not doing it for me. I'd rather watch a Stranger Things episode. So, remake a Hellraiser. I was like, perfect. I'm not a fan of the first Hellraiser. I mean, I liked it, the first one. It's okay. I'm not a crazy fan. The second one I really liked. The third one's okay. The fourth one I liked. People hated it. And the rest of them I don't even remember. So I thought, you know what? Let's, yeah, he rules. His books. I've read the Books of Blood. Rawhead Rex, all that stuff. Nightbreed. I was, okay, all right. Yeah, we'll get to that. Oh, Fallon, we're going to love this. Yeah, Clayton, Cat. All right, we'll get to that. Yes, I agree. So I thought, my God, Hellraiser would be a good TV show because every episode could be somebody with a cube. So I heard that, Pinhead's now a female. Great. In the book, it says, I think in the book, they're androgynous, which, the female, it's a trans girl playing Pinhead. Great. Awesome. It works. It's a fine casting. I mean, the character of Pinhead doesn't have to do a whole heck of a lot. There's a certain attitude and a demeanor that they got to bring to the role, and they do it. She does a great job. The other Cenobites for me were the surprise. So yes, there's Chatterer. I didn't see Butterball, although one of them might have been a representative of such. But that's not why I liked the movie. I liked it a lot. And I was quite shocked to hear some of my friends thought it was boring. Sherman, if you're in here, I think he's one of the ones that thought it was boring. Rick Sherman, who messaged me about it. Now, here's the thing. Watching all the old Hellraiser movies, you have the Pinheads and the Cenobites, who are actually called Hell Priests in the story, in the real story. And the box is called the Lament Configuration, and it changes shapes, and it opens up a gateway to hell. Now, in this new movie, the thing that makes it stick out like a sore thumb is in the new movie, there is more background lore about the box than all 9 Hellraiser movies combined. So, if you don't know anything about Hellraiser, I recommend seeing this new movie. It does talk a lot. It gives you a nice new beginning of the story. I'm going to give a little spoiler, a tiny one, of something that happens in the beginning of the movie that was a big hook for me. A very subtle hook that the filmmakers made that I appreciated. And I'm curious if anybody in here would agree. Okay, it's cute and pretty and clean. Yes, Phantasm is far superior in my opinion. Yes, it could have, a lot of people wanted it to be gorier like the original. I didn't care. To me, here's what I liked. The first of all, I'm a fan of movies about rich weirdos, okay? And this is about a rich weirdo. A rich guy who's got so much money and power and prestige that they're bored with reality and they want to start using their money for occult knowledge, research, right? So they buy things that can open up gateways to different dimensions. Ah, Sherman writes, boring. So, early in the movie, they're in this rich guy's house, and this kid, this like, I don't know, 20-year-old guy walks in the room, and there's like a pedestal, and there's the cube. It's the first time you see it. And the camera comes into the cube, like this, straight on. And then the camera comes up over the cube, like to the side, and you see it ain't a cube. It's in some weird other shape. And I was like, oh, it hasn't reached cube shape yet. It's a very subtle little, like, it's not a cube yet. And I liked it. That was my hook in. I was like, oh, there's something in here. And something happens to the occult rich guy that I did like. Yeah. Society from 18. Other rich weirdo movies are Ninth Gate. I guess Rosemary's Baby. I don't know where I would put that. But okay, so that was the hook. Now we're learning about the cube, how it works, the type of wishes you can get ask the hell priests. Did you see it, Ruth? Have you seen Hellraiser, Ruth? See, I think, Ruth, you would like this movie a lot. I don't know. It's not an action movie. And I love the plot. I like the second act of the movie, or the third act, or whatever it was. I liked it. I thought it built up to a cool ending. I thought the Cenobites now. So when you first see the girl Pinhead, I mean, it's clearly Pinhead. It doesn't... It's Pinhead. It looks just like Pinhead. It's got a few design differences, but it's clearly Pinhead. The real gems are... Oh, I love 13 Ghosts. Another one, right. I actually own a pair of the original glasses. I'll show you in a second. Someone gave them to me. I like the other Cenobites. There's I believe she was bald, black lady with weird arms and a weird jaw. That blew my mind. One of the coolest Cenobites I'd ever seen. You saw the first Hellraiser? It doesn't hold up because of the digital special effects they used. There are these weird zaps that look terrible at the end. That's why filmmakers should stay away from these visual effects, because they don't age the film well. It's why Lord of the Rings looks good. Yes, there's CG in Lord of the Rings, but notice when Gandalf's casting spells, you don't see like lightning bolts coming out of his hands. I haven't seen Mama yet. You need to see the new Hellraiser, Ruth. I think you're really going to like it. This is not like the first one. It's not a remake. It's just a new story with the cube. And I liked it a lot. I do. I give it a good... I want to see it again. I'm excited to see it again. I mean, maybe I won't like it as much on the second time, but hard to say. I'm trying to think of anything else I wanted to mention about that movie. I already forgot who directed it. I don't care. Oh, William Castle. All right. Have you watched the anime Chainsaw Man? I have not seen it. I would like to see it. I do want to see Terrifier 2. Terrifier 1 is a low-budget horror film that's pretty darn good, pretty gross, pretty well made. Terrifier 2 is getting crazy good reviews. I'll probably do a review on it. I want to find 13 Ghosts because... Oh, here it is. I'm going to show you something. This is kind of cool. So I have the DVD of the original that actually came with a pair of the glasses. These are the ghost viewers that you use if you want to see the ghosts, they disappear or not, depending on which one you look through. But I want to show you, I have a pair of original glasses from the actual film. Look at the size difference. These are the ones that came with the DVD. Here, I'll put them down here. And a friend of mine, I don't know where they got them. There's the DVD ones. And here's the real ones. They're an exact replica. They're just bigger. This is one of the greatest gimmick films ever made, and the movie itself is actually really cool. The remake's okay, but this is so much better. And Margaret Hamilton is in this film. So, if you're a Margaret Hamilton fan, check it out. The pizza shop scene, oh my god. Amazing. Tingler's good too. William Castle was the producer of all these gimmicky horror films of the 60s, and they're pretty well made. He also was the producer, William Castle, of Rosemary's Baby. So, all right, let's keep moving here. Those are my film reviews. I haven't really seen anything else. You know me. I watch TV once, twice a month, if that. I want to talk about one of my favorite musicians who ever lived that just died. Oh yeah, It's a Small World. I never saw it. I want to see it. I'll watch that. On October 28th, D.H. Peligro, the drummer of the Dead Kennedys, died. Supposedly, it was a fall, it was an accident, and he bumped his head, and whatever, he died. And I think his landlord found them a day later or something. And I don't know. I don't know the details. I don't care. I will say he was literally one of the most influential musicians in my life. He played on the records that changed my life. He played in a manner that made me notice. I'm going to mention that, Dan, in a second. There's a theater in Manhattan rigged for that already at film form. So when they show it, it does it at film form. You got to see it. The way he played the drums was different than the way Tommy Ramone played the drums. I was used to hearing straight 4/4 rock and roll beats, and he was not doing that. He was doing a lot of other stuff. And oh yeah, that's how Bob Saget died. Oh yeah. Moral of the story, don't bump your head. Protect your noggin, folks. Maybe we should wear like hats with padding in them. I think it's the back of your head that if you hit it too hard, it kills you or so. I forget. There's a place on your head that if you bump it, it'll kill you. He played the drums punk rock style with a certain pizzazz that leaned into jazz. It leaned into the disco stuff, those offbeat, in-between beats. He had a very wild energy on stage, and the record that changed my life as a kid, I should have had it. It's right there. When I get the video, I'm going to play a little video of him drumming. Yeah, he replaced the original drummer for the Dead Kennedys, Ted, who played on the first record. And then D.H. showed up, and they put out In God We Trust, which was an EP. And then they put out probably my top 3 favorite records on earth, Plastic Surgery Disasters. In God We Trust changed my life. When I was a little kid, and my friend Tim Gatehouse if Bill Yon's in here, he knows Tim. He put the headphones on me and went, "Listen to this, bro." And he hit the button. And when I heard Religious Vomit, I couldn't believe it. I was like, somebody makes music like this? Blew my head. So from that moment on, I was a big fan. I studied in detail the way they were making their music, the bass playing, the singing, the lyrics. It's one of the most influential musical projects of my life. Dead Kennedys, specifically In God We Trust, Plastic Surgery Disasters. He also played on Frankenchrist, Gimme Bedtime for Democracy. He played on a bunch of the songs in Gimme Convenience. He plays on almost everything. The band broke up in 86. They put out Gimme Convenience. He went on to do his own solo stuff, which is awesome. And then he got a gig playing with the Chili Peppers. So he did a brief little stint in the Chili Peppers. And then he ended up going back and doing Dead Kennedy shows. Without Jell-O, unfortunately. I don't want to talk about that. I don't think it was a good idea. But they did. He probably needed money. This is not a money-making business. So I want to play a little video of DH, the Dead Kennedys, Klaus Fluoride, East Bay Ray, Jello Biafra on vocals, and D.H. Peligro. His real name was Darren. Oh, man, I wrote it down. I don't know where I put it. Oh, Darren Eric Henley. He was born on July 9th, 1959, and he died on October 28th. Here's to you, buddy. You really did change a lot of lives. I want to play his art. Let's watch a video, and then, yeah. Oh, yeah, let me stop this. Let's watch This is them in their rehearsal studio playing Malcolm Wade. Hi, everybody. This is them playing in their studio, Bleed For Me. So it's live in their own little rehearsal studio.
Name of world peace, in the name of world profits, America pumps up our secret police. America wants to get it, it needs puppets. So what's 10 million dead? Keeping out the Russians. Well trained by the CIA, San Antonio. The people will just live in camps. Think they're building schools. When Ronnie Reagan comes to town, forks out his tongue at human rights. Sit down, enjoy our ethnic meal. Diamonds and charbroiled knives. Try a metal on, follow the mirrors, the cameras quick. Make Christmas happy. Anytime, anywhere. Maybe just disappear. Come on, Wade! Come on, Wade! Come on, Wade! Wade!
Wow. I mean, that guy, can you believe him? On drums? He was like, that song's all over the place. The first time I saw that song was in the movie Erg, A Music War, which another thing that changed my life. This is the soundtrack to the film Erg. Unfortunately, the Dead Kennedys didn't make it to the album. It's all the bands but them. It's got the Cramps. I'm like shocked they didn't put it on here. Maybe the lyrics weren't up to par for what they were trying to say, but really crazy. All right, let me pull this down. So, Darren, DH Peligro. Whenever that happens, someone falls over and dies. It really is a reminder of we do all this effort to do our best. We take lots of health measures. You know, we try to eat healthy so that our ticker keeps ticking, our blood's flowing. You know, we don't want high cholesterol. And then you walk out of your house and get hit by a bus. That's a fact of reality. It happens all the time. Here, I don't know what happened to the guy. He could have slipped and fell, bumped his head. I forgot that's what they said killed Bob Saget. Yeah, he just fell and hit his head. So, oh yeah, your teenage self is geeking out. Yeah. When I was a teenager, and you know, you grow up listening to corporate rock, you know, rock and roll that cost a lot of money, that has a lot of people helping make it. And then you hear the Dead Kennedys. They didn't have any help. There's no help. Everything that you hear on these songs and records, they did it their way. It was their label. No one said you should do this, you should do that. You're hearing the most pure art you're ever going to hear anywhere. The label, they owned. The songs, they wrote. And they play them live. There's no overdubs. I mean, there it was. You just saw it. Yeah, memento mori, my friend. That's it. So those guys did it their way, and he's the first one to die. And you know, dropping dead out of nowhere. I always say, Cliff Burton, greatest bass player? Well, I wouldn't say that. But, I mean, he was good. And when he left Metallica, I think they went in a not as good direction. My favorite rock and roll bass player? Wow. I get asked that a lot. My answer is Dee Dee Ramone. But, I mean, I like him because of what he did and who he was. For skill level and all that stuff, for rock and roll, I mean, I don't, it's funny. There's so many bass players I like. It's hard for me to pick my favorite. The dude from Minor Threat blows my mind. There's so many good ones, but I mean, Dee Dee Ramone ultimately is my favorite bass player. He's the one that got me. Geezer's wonderful. I mean, Steve Harris. The Galloping Fingers. I mean, come on. I like him. I mean, Geddy Lee's good. There's a lot I like. As the greatest bass player who ever walked the face of the earth, I'd have to say Jaco Pastorius. For punk rock drumming, Tommy Ramone set the standard, and then right away I put DH. Right away, bam, DH Peligro. No one sounds like him. He's got a unique sound. He doesn't sound like anybody. You literally can hear it in the song. Listen to the way he plays his hi-hat. He's doing in-between skip beats and stuff. It's great. It's almost like disco. Yeah, so back to Memento Mori. Whenever somebody like that dies, it's just another slap in the face that feels good. Swabang! Here's some pain. And then you go, wow, that's painful. And then you go, but I need to take this now as a reminder that this could happen to me. It could happen to my children, all of my loved ones. And the only solution is to pretend like every day it's your last day. I mean, Marcus Aurelius really did sit down at the end of the day. And, oh, yeah, Mackie. Oh, yeah, for early punk rock bass, all the way. Every day, make sure you tied up all your loose ends when you go to bed at night. You know, did you do your best? Yes. Is there anything you forgot to say to somebody that you should actually say? Then you might want to say it because you might not wake up the next day. And I'm not just saying that like, oh, it might happen. No, it happens all the time. Whenever somebody dies and people are shocked, I'm like, dude, it happens every couple minutes. Like, you're on the list too. Don't be so shocked. I'm shocked that people are shocked when people die. I got called insensitive recently for voicing that. I'm trying to remember who it was. Really, I did. I'm trying to remember now. I got into a discussion about it. Yeah, it's not that I'm insensitive. It's that I respect death. And I know that, and I say this all the time, and I think it's the greatest way to go. If I die tomorrow, and I'm saying this to everybody watching now, if I die tomorrow, make sure you tell people I had a good time. I think DH had that too. I think I think he came later in his life. I think that guy had a bout with some booze and some drugs, maybe, but I think he came out of it. And that's why, it is sad because he came out of it, he was healthier, and then he died. But there you go. That's exactly what I was saying. Here's a guy that maybe had some health problems, then he got his stuff together and started to really do it well, and then, he slip and fall and die. So what's it mean? Well, it means nothing. It means that you can die at any second. Especially when they are old. Yeah. Oh, well, my 2-year filter is up and running in my life full time. Right? It's what I do. Now, my 2-year filter is different than the other one. So the way I run my life is I pretend like, hey, you can die at any minute. So when I go to bed at night, I do a little inventory of what would I do differently if I, what did I do wrong? What did I do right? What could be better? Should I say something to somebody? Do I need to tell somebody off? Should I tell somebody I love them? Blah, 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 whatever it is. But then add another layer. Pretend like you got the diagnosis from the doc. Yo, you got some weird cancer, bro. You got 2 years. Get ready. It's probably going to kill you in a year and a half. Now what? Now everything changes. Now your life just got sped up. What's this? Yeah, that's it. So your life just got sped up to a year and a half. What are you going to do? How are you going to pull off all your dreams and hopes in a year and a half? Oh, I don't know. So what I do is I pretend that right now in a year and a half to 2 years, 2 year, that's why I call it the 2-year plan. I'm going to die. So if I'm going to make a decision, should I do this? Should I do that? What would I do if I was going to croak in 2 years? It makes it a lot easier. It's why I don't need to see the Munsters. If I knew I was going to die in 2 years, would you like to see the new Rob Zombie Munsters? The answer very quickly is no. If you said, would you like to see the new Godzilla movie that's going to come out next year, which they're working on, folks? My answer is yes, actually. I'm a very big Godzilla fan. I'd like to see a final Godzilla film in my life. If you said, would you rather watch the Munsters new movie or The Fly again? Take a guess what I'm going to watch. I'm going to watch The Fly again. So that's how the 2-year plan works. The 2-year memento mori, you're going to croak in 2 years, thought experiment. That's what it is. It's a thought experiment. Well, as in, I'm more than enjoying me. I see. Yes, I feel there's absolutely no reason. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I'm here, and I don't know why you're here, and I'm not going to come up with the answer. And so, oh yeah, Gojira. So the new Godzilla movies, they're working on one, a Japanese one. I'm very excited. I think there's 2 Godzillas in it fighting each other, is the plot. I think that's the plot. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know what to say. I want to say, I'm going to end this episode soon too, because tomorrow I have a very busy day. So if anybody's in New York City wants to see, I'm doing a TV show gig tomorrow where they have free tickets. At 9:30, I'm doing a show on the Upper West Side, and they're filming it for a TV show. And it's called Underground Magic, and it's like a nightclub, and you get to go in and watch variety arts magicians. And so I have to get ready tomorrow, and I have to get ready. I don't want to blow my voice out. So I'm going to move it around and go quick, but it says the cinematography in the Munsters is very good. I thought one of the things he was going for that he might have been successful at is that, where he made it look like a 90s cheap TV drama. And he might have been going for that. It's got that too bright of a color look. Yeah. Thank you, Dan. Yeah, it should be cool. I'm only doing one act, but it's a lot of BS. It's TV. The saying in most TV, film, commercial world is hurry up and wait. It's a lot of hurrying up and moving and then sitting around for hours. And for me, it's really hard. As you know, I have a lot of energy. I can talk, I can move for hours. So if you tell me to wait, I'm just like, I need something to do. The beach scene is done very well. Oh, in the Munsters? Yeah. I mean, maybe I'll watch a clip one day on YouTube, but I can't. I won't sit and watch it. The thing that hurts me in this one is the Herman guy. There's not one likable thing about him. The original Herman was sweet, adorable, goofy, funny. He was like the perfect dad, you know? He was the dad. Everybody's like, yeah, even though he's a monster, he's a good dad. He's got a big heart. This new one doesn't come off like that. Lily Munster, I'm not even going to bring up. That lady, I mean, it's not acting. I don't know what that is. The grandpa character, yes, he has a mustache. That doesn't bother me. I like his look, but who cares? Wow. All right, folks. Well, this was really fun. I haven't done one of these in a while. I'm glad I did. And I'm going to try to keep hustling them. As I get closer to Christmas time where I get really busy, it's going to be harder. But I'm going to try to keep on these. I have a couple of episodes I'm working on now. I started writing. One is an episode on nasty candy. Candy that tastes terrible. I'm a fan of a few of them. Another one is Sean Auberg, the artist, who I'm a very big fan of. He wrote this thing called The Rules of the Game, and I think I'm going to do a whole episode on those rules. I'm going to contact him and see what he thinks about it, because he made this like piece of artwork with some like text that to me is one of the coolest things ever, and I think I can do a whole episode on it. Very philosophical, very, like on a very deep level, actually. So, yeah, Ruth, thank you. Al Lewis fondled you? Are you kidding me? I'm looking at the chat here. C.R. Mealy says he fondled. Really? I mean, it doesn't surprise me. I did a show with him once, and he did have creeper long fingernails. Wow, I want to hear about this. You got to tell me. Hey, everybody that supports this show, thank you. Come on in here. If you're watching this for the first time, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notify. I got to say it. If you're the donating type, if you're watching live or not, in the description, there it is. Streamlabs.com/Adam Cardone. I do this full time. I perform full time. If you donate, it goes right into these shows. But mostly, please tell people about the show. That's all. And there's a lot of great old episodes. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Without an audience, I wouldn't be here. Cheers. Happy Monday, the greatest day of the week, because it is the beginning of it all. And I'll see you probably next Monday. My name's Cardone. This is Evening Hour episode, is it 128? God, wow, I can't believe it. 128. And party on, Wayne. Let's do this. Oh, let me say hi to Zalthon. He's been working. There's Zalthon. He's been actually doing his gig, right? He's back in action. Now I know how to get him to do his thing. Where are we here? Where's the thing? End credit. Over and out.